Howdy, West Coast cats and squirrels, SoCloseToToast here, and welcome to the YouTube channel. So it's been a hot minute since I've talked to you guys one-on-one. You, me, camera, standing in the middle of a house with no one home, kind of creepy. But I used to do these videos all the time. And I miss doing those because we got to just talk about emotions, life experiences, things that were going on where we could just share together in the comment section. Where people were like, yeah, this is what happened in my life, and I got to read and relate, because at the end of the day, we are just humans. I might be dead, technically, untechnically, figuratively, unfiguratively, but I'm still here, loving just the atmosphere of being able to make videos and do things like that all the time. So it's kind of fun going back, doing kind of like a lazy vlog. I'm no Casey, I'm no guy that vlogs climbing the Eiffel Tower or some shiz and goes to jail. I'm just a guy with a selfie stick, an iPhone, and an empty house that I could just walk up into and share my thoughts, feelings, and emotions on a specific topic. Now, this topic's kind of dark though, so let me shed some light on it. This whole, and yes, I'm totally jumping on the train if you're wondering, this whole PewDiePie thing is absolutely insane. Like, I've watched all the response, I'm like caught up. I went on, you know how you go on the journey, you watch one, and then for some reason YouTube is getting very smart with its recommended videos to the point where I'll spend 5 hours watching videos with different entertainers, different personalities, explaining their thought on one particular topic. And man, this PewDiePie thing is absolutely, like, I mean, mind-boggling insane. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically Felix, aka PewDiePie, and I'm sure many of you have heard this story over and over again because everyone is literally talking about it, whether they're talking about the upside of it or the downside of it, but a lot of people are surprisingly talking about the in-between side of it, which is very rare nowadays. It's either you're offended to the extreme about something, and you can't logically, like, filter the fact that, okay, let me wear somebody else's shoes for a second. But people are talking about this whole thing about him being an anti-Semite and against Jews. It's like, close the door on that thing, man. No, like, to me, it's just jokes. You know, I'm adopted, and I've not thought 1 second when somebody made an adopted joke, not even to me, maybe it was around me, maybe they didn't even know I was adopted. Not 1 second did I ever feel like I should be offended by this adoption joke. And yes, I totally get it. Adoption does not, like, level next to anything racist or, you know, stuff like that. Like, adoption jokes are like lower tier. They're not as high as like racist jokes and stuff like that as far as being offensive. So I get that. That totally makes sense. But I mean, come on. I feel like what happened with PewDiePie is that this gave leverage to other media outlets to kind of bash him. Because people nowadays, for some reason, are offended by everything, and everyone has to make, like, a sorry statement, a sorry response. And that's what PewDiePie did. He made a response saying that he is sorry about the jokes because they were a little bit edgy, as a lot of people would say nowadays in the YouTube comments. They're super edgy. But I don't know if he should have ever said sorry. I think how he approached everything, he had to. Like, he had to say sorry. He had to do that. But I think deep down, he's just like, there were jokes, yo. Like, it was a social experiment that he did for Fiverr, which is a website where you can do anything for $5. I actually signed up to that website. I wish he asked me to do something. I would have done it for $5. But it is crazy that people will do something to that extreme for $5. So is it really Felix's problem or is it Fiverr's problem that they allow, like, there's no real censorship going on there? But why should there be? Censorship is going to be the death of entertainment. the death of a lot of things if it gets more censored. Just the world in general. It's nice that like majority of people can have their freedom of speech and say whatever they want, especially on the internet. The thing about this whole situation is I've watched the YouTubers' response videos, other YouTubers that maybe worked with PewDiePie or friends with him, other YouTubers that kind of bashed him in the beginning and now are taking back their statements and saying that, you know, they were wrong and PewDiePie isn't wrong. I literally gone down the rabbit hole and watched everything. Watched YouTubers I've never even heard of. But I was like, all right. I'm going to definitely research everything that's going on here so I don't sound like a complete idiot to you guys, whoever watches this video. And for me, I don't know. Maybe it's because I love dark comedy and I'm a dark human being overall. But the jokes PewDiePie made, they weren't even like necessarily jokes. They were just a statement on the fact that for this website in particular, for this experiment that he was doing, people would go that far to get $5 to do anything that somebody asked for. And yeah, the jokes are definitely dark. And I guess in PewDiePie's contracts and things that he has, because he is owned by Disney, technically. So I guess it would be distasteful. And it kind of sucks because if you're a content creator on YouTube, this is almost like kind of it's like censoring the creators. YouTube used to be, back in the day, the early days, like I started YouTube in 2007. It was a wild west back then. Anything went. It was crazy the amount of stuff that was put on the website and how now it's getting, you know, more contained with the copyrights and a bunch of different things. But this whole like censoring, especially new media, YouTube, you guys, you are the forefront of this new generation of creators, watchers, all this stuff that's gonna eventually just be online. It's no longer just going to be read on a piece of paper. It's not going to be watched on a 32-inch screen anymore. It's going to be something that you just pull out of your pocket and you have everything right there. That's where we're going. We're getting closer every single day. And this was blatantly an attack on new media and trying to bring down YouTube. Since Felix is pretty much the face of YouTube, he's the most popular, he got dealt with those cards and he has to be the face of this whole community. And the best thing about this whole thing is that you guys in particular who watch him, me, all these different content creators, whether they have edgy content, whether they do drama, whether they make family-friendly stuff, you guys have backed all these different types of entertainers and entertainment, and I like to see that the community is backing PewDiePie, because if it was completely opposite, if he was like truly like racist and anti-Semitic and all this stuff, yeah, whatever, he deserves all the hate he gets, but he's not. I've followed him ever since the beginning, when he was making like Call of Duty videos and he was trying to figure out like what he wanted to do next and all these type of things. Like he was just a regular person. We're all regular people at the end of the day. It's just an attack on him and YouTube. And you know, at the end of the day, if you attack PewDiePie and bring him down, it brings all of us down to maybe back to basics. Where do we go to watch videos again? Where do we get to watch just content that isn't censored? That's YouTube right now. YouTube is a place where we can just go and, for the most part, unless you want to watch like beheading videos or whatever, you can watch anything. And you can watch different opinions. And it's kind of a bummer that this whole thing was put on PewDiePie's shoulders, Felix in particular, because he doesn't deserve it. I don't think he does. I know Jacksepticeye and Markiplier in their videos, they rode the line in between saying his joke that he made, his specific jokes that he made, they didn't agree with necessarily, but they know him as a person behind the entertainer, and they know like the truth. They know he's not that type of person to be, bashing Jews. And it's nice to see them sticking up for him. And it's nice to see some of like people that do news on YouTube specifically, or report on news, and they're just like regular people with a green screen behind them. And they were like bashing PewDiePie, and then they like retracted their statements and stood up for him. It's almost, you don't see that often, because for pretty much 2016, there was a lot of YouTubers, whether it was being like beat up by their girlfriends, or being a sex offender, or all these different types, underage type of stuff, like all this flack that people were getting on YouTube, that I just kind of like, you just sit. This is why people yell shotgun, because they just want to see like, I got the front seat, but I'm not in control. I'm not driving. I'm just watching. I'm just watching what's happening. That's kind of how I played 2016. I just sat, watched everything happen. I saw Keemstar get attacked. I saw all these people get attacked, people that I knew personally. And for me, I just was like, this is going to blow over. Like, all this stuff usually blows over. And I felt bad when Toby Turner specifically got completely wrecked. Like, that's a hard blow, because that was his life. You're ruining with the person's life. And now he has to go through all these lawsuits and stuff. It's just like, I don't even know what I would do in that situation if I just got attacked for something randomly. But I've always been that type of person to be in the middle, to be neutral. And I've gotten in so many fights with people to just try and like, hey, wear somebody else's shoes. Put yourself in their perspective. See where they're at. Don't jump to the conclusion that, since somebody accused them, that they are guilty of anything. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. Are you just in the middle where you're just sitting shotgun thinking about, okay, yeah, you said that, I am not offended, I don't even care what's happening? Are you somebody that's like, I'm offended? I am offended, just like everybody else in this new generation of people that need to be offended by everything? Or are you on the other side, where it's like, it's a freaking joke. Take a joke, world. I just wanted to get that out. It was stuck inside, in here and in here, and I just need to vent to you guys. You are literally my personal psychologist. I thank you all the time. Every day I wake up, I think about you guys, and I just wonder what's going on in your heads about specific things. Maybe I'll do this more often, where I come at a topic with you and just kind of bounce off some thoughts, and you guys be like, shut up, Toast, or you'll be like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know, just keep beatboxing away the pain, That's what I do. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace out, shake 'em and bake 'em.